Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Now we go into Rome 2, one of the most biggest and epic Total War games that is out there right now. Rome 2 boasts a modern scene as vast and vibrant as the Roman Empire itself. Now, Age of Bronze is a total conversion mod that transports you back to the late Bronze Age, roughly around 1500 BCE. Now, this isn't just a reskin, it completely overhauls the game, so forget your legions, your gladiators. Here you command charioteers, slingers, and fearsome bronze-clad warriors. And the map shrinks to focus on the major powers of the era: the Hittite Empire, the Mycenaean Greeks, the rising power of Egypt, and more. And warfare in the Bronze Age is a brutal affair. Units are slower, but more faster, I do find in some cases, much more vulnerable, and rely on shock tactics and close quarter combat. And that bronze weaponry emphasizes these crushing blows, right? And the modders did a fantastic job in making sure that they made everything historically accurate, using models, using all sorts. You know, so you can expect like phalanxes of spearmen and slingers to hold a line, while chariots can thunder through enemy ranks. But war isn't everything. Diplomacy and trade play a crucial role. Resources are scarce, and controlling key trade routes like vital tin and copper can be the difference between prosperity and collapse. Age of Bronze offers a wealth of unique factions to play. The Hittites, with their advanced chariot technology, dominate the central Anatolian plains. Egypt, on the cusp of its golden age, Age of Bronze offers a chance to rewrite history at the dawn of civilization. Parabellum isn't your typical overhaul mod. It refines the core gameplay experience, so it aims for historically grounded and tactically demanding experience. So what am I saying? It includes the population mod back into Rome 2. It includes pretty much a focus on logistics, attrition, population mechanics, and it is such a unique mod that it is a mod that I had difficulty downloading a couple of years ago, so I avoided the mod at that time being. But Parabellum just feels like, why did I ignore this mod in the first place? Because I never should have done that. Because if you look at the battlefields, right, it tightens the focus, it emphasizes unit formation, morale, skillful maneuvering, it makes use of different user interface mods, units feel more distinct, it has some really great, unit cover designs, and it has strengths and weaknesses that you have to consider. Because you're not just fighting a battle, let's say, on the battlefield, you also fight in a battle on a campaign map. What units you bring to the battlefield also determines how you perform well in the campaign battles itself. And I just think it feels so historically authentic that I would describe Parabellum as a mixture between Divide et Impera, Wars of the Gods mod. It's great for casuals, it's great for strategists, it's a really all-in-one mod together. It's a fantastic mod. It covers from, let's say, the Peloponnesian Wars all the way to the Empire Divided. All the campaigns have been overhauled. Every single element of this game is changed under Parabellum. And finally, all I would say is that Parabellum is a serious overhaul mod. I can't go through every single campaign right now in this video. Every single campaign has their own unique units, their own unique user interface, and I managed to get some footage from the Empire Divided campaign, which I believe under Parabellum is really, really worth playing. The year is 311 AD. The Roman Empire, once a vast and unified entity, crumbles under the weight of internal strife. The Tetrarchy, an experiment in co-rule, has fractured, leaving the land divided and vulnerable between Constantine and Maxentius and other Roman emperors. This is the backdrop for the rise of the Christianity mod, where the seeds of a new religion will write Western civilization's history. I would say that this focus is shifting towards an historical period that pretty much is not well understood. It gives the historical context as to why Rome became Christian in the first place. You witness the birth of Christianity as it confronts the established Roman religion. You have the unique opportunity to play as either Constantine, the champion of the fledgling Christian faith, or Maxentius, the staunch pagan emperor clinging to the traditions of the past. And this campaign map reflects the fractured state of the Roman Empire. Each faction you can choose from, whether it's Constantine's Christian forces or the various pagan-aligned Roman powers, represents this piece of the shattered political landscape. Each boasts a meticulously researched roster reflecting the early stages of how the Roman army evolved within the 3rd century. Here, you command early Christian legions alongside seasoned Roman veterans, and at the very same time, you will see that there will be legions fighting for God, there will be legions fighting for Jupiter, there will be people that are competing for various power interests. Yes, the gameplay is base vanilla Rome 2, but somehow there was something in this mod that just made me kept on playing forever and ever and ever. It just made me want to play more, despite the fact that there are very little political dilemmas, despite the fact that the campaign gameplay is pretty much normal Rome 2. There's nothing that special apart from the changes in terms of units and user interface, but something in it just made me feel like I was playing a different campaign in Rome 2 history. And of course, combined with the Rome 2 political system, I think it makes sense. I think it's really, really fantastic. The political system just lends itself very nicely. It's not the most complex and deep political consensus that I want, because Maxentius often had to accede to the demands of the Christian cult that was growing at this time. And this was a time when true loyalties were being tested, when father fought son, when brother fought brother. This was an era of loyalties being tested back and forth, and the battles of this time period were brutal. They also had to face barbarian incursions. The Roman army was not in a great state during this time period at all. The Rise of Christianity mod offers a deeper layer of strategy, I would say. Religion does become a crucial factor. You can build religious cults, but this impacts, let's say, your public order, your morale. You have to be careful balancing religion. Although I wish there had been more deeper more dilemmas that would make the campaign elevate to a new degree of level. But I believe Constantine can utilize this burgeoning Christian faith to bolster army morale, maintain public order through the construction of, let's say, Christian cults and the spread of the new ideology. But at the same time, you don't really get to spread that ideology that much, because Rome 2's campaign mechanics are limited. But Maxentius, on the other hand, has to rely on the established Roman pantheon. But every time I tried to build temples and stuff, I was always forced to build Mithridatic cults, but there was no other cult that I could build. You have to appease the traditional gods and maintain the existing religious structure, and that's true. That's what you have to do. You have to build these temples, you have to build all of these things, but all of this significantly just amounts to building a few temples here and there. So you're not seeing much gameplay change. And even though this is quite an old mod for Rome 2, I'm glad that it's still here and you can still play it. But if this mod were to be given another update in terms of a campaign, in terms of a more Divide et Impera experience, to allow more political dilemmas, to allow something more like Empire Divided, I would wholeheartedly welcome a new feature called the Clash of Religions. So you could have more political dilemmas in choosing, let's say, new priests, new campaign dilemmas that focus specifically on the power religious plays that happen between Christianity and paganism. I really would like to see more of this, as religion being a strategic weapon where faith fortifies the soul in this mod. And dare I say, the battles are really great. Now I'm playing with a larger unit size mod, but there's a reason you need to play this with a larger unit size mod. I think you can pretty much adjust as to what battle mod you want, but honestly the battles are great. It just feels like a completely new time period. I really think Constantine, the Rise of Christianity is just an amazing mod. So, are you ready to answer the call? Will you lead Constantine's Christian forces to victory and usher in a new era of faith? Or will you stand with Maxentius and defend the crumbling traditions of the old Roman past. The Rise of Christianity mod offers a unique opportunity to explore this historical crossroad and shape the destiny of Western civilization itself. This isn't your typical Rome 2 mod. Here, empires rise and fall. The winds of change rewrite the very fabric of the ancient world. Prepare to embark on a journey where familiar factions clash with mythical civilizations. Bronze Age Egypt, let's say Atlantis, let's say Troy, the Lydians, the Norse, and so many other civilizations are there. This is a low alternate mythical historical mod, and I believe this is where strategy becomes the key to carving your name in the annals of a reimagined history. And the modder that has worked behind this genesis has done an amazing job. This is a mod that I saw way back, maybe 2-3 years ago. But this mod I think completely changed Rome 2 because it was one of those big mods that gave mythical history a bit of an allowance in an historical game. But you should forget the familiar borders of trying to rebuild Rome. New World is opening this map, revealing forgotten lands and powerful new factions. You can explore the vast expanse of, let's say, Atlantis by reshaping the world in its image. You can encounter fierce Amazonian warriors or brave the frozen wastes to face fearsome barbarian hordes. The world is expansive, but it is a difficult campaign. Any campaign you try is going to be hardcore difficulty. But that's the fun. Otherwise, if you just wanted to play casual, go ahead and play casual. But if you're not, then you have got to see why New World is amazing. Gone are those limitations of, let's say, historical accuracy, maybe more historical authenticity that replaces it. New World embraces these legends and myths whispered throughout the ages. You can have the unique opportunity to lead the Trojans or descendants of them. You can pretty much. Each faction boasts a great roster, and that reflects the unique cultures and military traditions of this alternate world. You can command Atlantean legions, you can go and conquer the world as the Norse. There's so much you can do here. The mod does have the strategic challenge. Trade routes become vital lifelines, connecting you to resources, forging alliances. Diplomacy takes on a new significance as you navigate intricate political landscapes, forging alliances, or orchestrating betrayals to achieve your goals. The political system is in-depth enough so that you have political turmoil. Resource management becomes crucial as you balance your infrastructure, military needs, and the demands of your populace. If there was one area of criticism, is that I would want all these new factions to have resource-based management, to have more specific resource-based management. So Atlantis depends on, let's say, fish, and if they don't have the supplies of fish, then that becomes a very big problem for Atlantean society, Atlantean culture. So I want to see more dilemmas. I want to see more resource-based management for the newer factions. I don't just want to build XYZ buildings and that reflects on the same factions as each other. So if as Rome I can build the same fishing harbor as Atlantis, then I want changes in that as well. New World is just an opportunity of exploring uncharted territories, forging your own legend in the known world. It challenges our perception of history and demands a willingness from you to adapt to unforeseen circumstances. For those that are seeking a unique and thrilling total war experience, one that blends history, myth, and grand strategy, I think this mod offers that unparalleled journey. Are you ready to set sail for uncharted waters? Will you lead legendary factions into battle, carve out an empire in a world reborn, or rewrite the course of history with cunning diplomacy? New World offers that chance to explore a vibrant alternate reality and test your mettle against the challenges it presents to you in Rome 2. Also, I believe the Norse are based on the fantastic YouTuber named Joe On It, who is a great total war YouTuber. Go check out his channel now. and you can go and definitely play him or roleplay him in this mod as well. We also have an undead campaign coming sooner or later, which I'm posting here right now. It will release around this month or maybe a couple of months, and I don't know when, but I just want to say that it is a fantastic mod and New World is definitely worth checking out. Every Total War player will be familiar with this mod, Divide et Impera. For me, this mod is like the Europa Barbarorum for Rome 2. It is a mod that completely transformed the way Rome 2 is supposed to be played. I think this is what Rome 2 should have been and could have been at launch. But thanks to the process of streamlining that occurred, Rome 2 eventually didn't even end up becoming half of what it was supposed to be on launch. And Divide et Impera, I remember from the very start of Rome 2's release. First it started with the battles, then it started with the campaign, with the user interface. I have been with this mod ever since Rome 2's conception. As in, I don't claim to be on the development team, I claim to have been following the progress and development. And all these years later, Divide et Impera looks like the final product. Although I do wish that it would at least include more political dilemmas, it is still by far, in terms of campaign, in terms of everything, it just feels like a complete Rome 2 experience. If you haven't, if you buy Rome 2, and the first question is, what mod should I try? I would say try Divide et Impera. Now, why is this a number 5 at the very last of our list? Because the video was too damn long and I couldn't be bothered to put it, in first. Because there are so many deserving mods out there. If I made every single video with Divide et Impera all the time, then, it would be a bit unfair. Because other mods do deserve it. And I will shine a spotlight on some of the great mods that are out there. I enjoy Divide et Impera. I think it's really fantastic. I think Divide et Impera is just really great. Now, you could say that armies are smaller in Divide et Impera, but that really depends on what unit size mod you can use. Resources and logistics always play a big role because this mod demands you have a meticulous approach to warfare. You need baggage supply trains. You need to recruit units that are taken from the population themselves. You will also have to have political struggles, command diverse factions from the burgeoning Roman Republic to establish kingdoms like Macedon and Egypt. Alright, you can also play, let's say, you can play the Kushites. You can play so many factions. There's so many historically accurately researched units, and there's so many new traditions, technologies, diplomacy, trade agreements. Everything is crucial within this mod. And the gameplay, I believe, really lies in the battles. The battles themselves are really fun. They can be really fantastic. That's all I can say so far. It's not easy to maintain, let's say, public order and stuff, but you have to be careful. There's also plenty of submods out there that really up the scale of hardcore realism, really make it difficult or really make it casual. There's cheat mods. There's a whole bunch of submods out there for Divide et Impera that you could be playing that forever. You would be playing a more historically accurate version of Rome 2 more than anything else. But when I talked about saying let's have more political dilemmas, what I meant was I want the campaign to have more dilemmas. So I hope somebody can do that in the future. But since we're coming to the end of this video, this has just been me saying, okay, these are the top, let's say, 4 or 5 mods for Rome 2, and I really have enjoyed making this, but at the same time, it was a pain having to record so much. Anyway, do the usual stuff, subscribe if you want to see more Total War content, do the usual, faff around stuff, like, comment, whatever, but stay tuned for more Total War content. I shall see you in the next video.